And welcome back to the Hot Lap. We are talking Terry Neuville and his opinion on that tyre advantage that sadly not him, not Ford, not the Ford team, but yes, the current dominant team, maybe when you look at the points, Toyota team has in WRC. So this is all based on a Dervish article, which I think is quite interesting. And so basically, Neuville believes Toyota has a reasonable tyre advantage. The World Champion says larger entries have given it the edge in understanding the handcrooks. What does he mean by larger entries? Well, as you know, Toyota have entered more of their competitors, more of their cars into the last two World Rally Championship events, round 1, round 2, Monte Carlo and Sweden. And because of that, they're accruing a lot more data. Now, I always feel, and when you speak to mechanics, it seems to be the case as well, that you can test and test and test, but you seem to get more data when you go against the competition, because at that point you are at max, you are trying to win, you're getting the most out of your package. When you're testing, you kind of know it's kind of like pretend in a way. Yes, you do get a lot of information, but I can't help but feel you get more in that competition. And Terry Neuville believes Toyota's dominant start to the WRC Championship this season can be explained by a reasonable advantage. Now, Hankook stepped in to replace that Pirelli rubber as what is the sole supplier of rallying's highest level this year. And if you remember, everyone was really happy with them in Sweden with their studs. Everyone was saying, yes, the studs are amazing. But the Koreans' black and round covers, people are realising, aren't quite the same as the Italians, and we shouldn't really be surprised. But that was one of the big question marks going into the WRC season. But why should they be different? We're not just talking the logos on the sides of the pattern or the tread, the article says. Differences, they're going to be differences in the characteristics on how they wear, on how they feel, on how they go on different surfaces. Just ask Kalle Rovanperä. He's not particularly happy with the tyres, yet he is in the Toyota team. We've only had 2 events, albeit they're quite unique ones. Monte Carlo, very much a mixture of, you sometimes get all 4 seasons in one rally, and then the pure snow sensation that is Sweden. They're essentially our 2 events, and Hankook appears to have done a great job, or everyone's saying, providing a durable tyre. But getting the best out of them performance-wise is a slightly different matter. One makes rubber doesn't necessarily acquire the same approach as another, as we mentioned, as they're mentioning as well. Kalle Rovanperä. He's concluded he needs to alter his driving style if he's going to ignite his challenge for a 3rd World Crown. And I think we can all agree he's kind of started disappointing, hasn't he? But mileage is crucial. Teams need to better understand the new rubber before they can optimise their car setups, which makes a lot of sense, as you mentioned. And the more data they have, the more better they can be in getting those setups. Drivers then can increase their knowledge of the performance on the stages, and they feel, and they can obviously have a lot more data to talk about with their engineers. That's where Neuville feels Hyundai is currently at a disadvantage compared to Toyota. Now, in this age of heavily restricted testing, yeah, they do test, more cars means more testing allowance as well. That's one thing I even failed to mention near the beginning. But Monte Carlo, Toyota had five GR Rally 1s. And was set to have 5 in Sweden too before, but sadly, the privateer's late withdrawal. But Hyundai, on the other hand, fielded 3 cars in each event and has no plans to expand its entry in the future, albeit they've got their 3 full-timers. And he said, we don't need to forget that Toyota has 4 up to 5 cars with Bertelli as well. I think who actually did testing, Neuville said. So they have much more test days in Monte Carlo. It has been a massive added value they had with that testing in different conditions, he said. Different tyre combinations, which obviously we couldn't with only 3 days of testing. And here, the same again. So honestly, I think it's a bit of one of the reasons why we are struggling sometimes. Maybe in the beginning of the rally, a bit more than them. They got the experience. Basically, it's something which is a reasonable advantage for them, definitely. And Hankook, director of motorsport, told Dirtfish that drivers and teams will always want more testing. He said, it doesn't matter how many kilometres we go for testing. At the end of the day, the result will always be the same. It's not enough, but it is very expensive, isn't it? You hear always the same comments from the management, he said, from the manufacturers and from the drivers. More and more and more, which is normal, he's saying. This is their business, and this is also their ultimate goal, to be on the top. So therefore, they will always ask for more testing. And I completely understand. They're going to want more information. With the snow and icy conditions now done, the attention turns to the first and arguably the hardest, maybe even the best rally of the season. Gravel rally anyway of the season, which is next month's Safari. I say next month, albeit it's the 27th of February. It's fast approaching, and Hyundai Motorsport president Cyril Abittel is, like Neuville, aware that understanding the tyre is going to be a key area of focus. He told Dirtfish, "For now, I think the biggest factor is to understand how to make the tyre work, and there are some things that we are missing there." Now, don't be too sad though, because in both rallies, if you're a Hyundai fan, they were in contention to win, or to challenge for the win for the rally. So they're not really that far behind. Yes, they don't have the data, but I think if any of those two rallies were anything to go by, they had. I mean, we could be looking at 2 Hyundai victories had things just been a tiny bit different. So I don't think there's too much cause for concern if you are a Hyundai fan. But if you're a fan nonetheless, just clicking on this video and watching us is absolutely amazing. So you are awesome for making it to the end if you had. If you want to do a bit more, make sure you are subscribed if you can. If you are already subscribed and want to help even more, hit that like button. It does make a massive difference to us, as we are a teeny tiny channel in the grand scheme of things. But like you, we love rally, we love motorsport. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. No doubt we'll see you next time and speak to you soon. And above all else, stay safe.